George. That's a good friend. Good friend. Good friend.
I don't have to ask if we have a quorum tonight.
All right.
We don't even know.
Should be good to go. We're good to go, Deanna.
All right, great. 6 o'clock on the dot. We can call the meeting to order. We can start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Present.
Commissioner LaPierre,
Present.
Commissioner Lucas,
Here.
Commissioner Mankey,
Here.
Chairman Rennie,
Here.
Commissioner Rio,
Here.
Commissioner Simon, Commissioner Wilshire, Commissioner Porcellini,
Here.
Commissioner Andrews,
Here.
and Commissioner Morganville.
Here. You're 6. Okay. Is anyone online?
There is Paul, Lindsay just came online, it looks like.
Okay,
So
so
he's there. Here. There he is.
thank you, Paul.
Just as a point of order, you have 2 out. You may want to seat 2 alternates.
Sure. So we can,
Your
Peter-
alternates are
is-
Mr. Lucas, Mr. Forcelina, and Ms. Morgenthau.
I believe I'm actually a regular commissioner. I'm an alternate on the ZBA, but
Okay,
I should be a full member on this one.
all right. I'll have to figure that out because.
Maybe because Jonathan left. Did you?
No, I was already a full
Oh, you
member
were.
before Jonathan left.
So seat at least 1.
Oh, well, we could see Peter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, can I get an approval of the minutes?
Move to approve the minutes.
Okay.
Seconded.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any discussion? All right, approval of the minutes. Any public participation? Okay, and no one else is online other than Paul, right?
No one is online. That is correct.
All right. Chamber report.
Okay,
Okay.
so we just had our monthly meeting at Chick-fil-A in the morning, first Wednesday of every month at 8 a.m. The chamber is gearing up for a car show on June 18th from 5 to 8. That will be in Market Square. Starting to get ready for the golf tournament, so looking for sponsors, etc. And let's see.
August 3rd.
August, oh, you have the date already? Thank you, I missed that. August 3rd for the golf tournament. I will put that on my calendar.
What was the date for the car show?
June 18th. 5 to 8. Rain date of June 25th. And I guess they will do sponsors and vendors are welcome and wanted for the Cruising Newington Car Show. $10 per car, proceeds to benefit the Hole in the Wall Gang. And you can reach out to the chamber office. I think that's it for the chamber.
All right. The Newington Center Business Collective report. I was just gonna go over.
Yes.
Did you guys get them? Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I
pass
got
it
my
down.
hand in too. Let's see, so we are just overall the NCBC, I'm trying to get used to saying that instead of the whole thing. Is filing to be a nonprofit. So that's going forward. As far as the event has gone, we're so excited. So it is in a couple weeks, Wednesday, April 22nd on Earth Day. A lot of the businesses are going to be involved, whether they just have their doors open that day or if they're going to do a giveaway or a discount or like a couple other things. Mrs. Gomes, who was Mrs. Gomes on the Go and is now, I think it's called Mrs. Gomes Lab. It's for a sensory play for kids and she'll host birthday parties and things like that. So she's going to be doing kids crafts out on the green in the back. Even like the laundromat's gonna give out coupons. They have new ownership, a husband and wife. I don't know if you guys have seen them on social media. And they are starting to offer free plugs for everybody tonight. They're starting to offer like VIP, like pickup, drop off.
Oh, cool. Oh, I didn't
For
know
your
that.
laundry services and stuff, just free business commercials tonight. The chamber's gonna be there set up with candy. They're gonna be like across the street from where the chamber office is. Not a Phase is gonna do something with reusable cups, like free with purchase. I ordered some Earth Day pins to just promote. The NCBC as a collective did order a bunch of seed packets and we're gonna hand those out to the businesses to hand out. And then there's Laurel Aesthetics opened up on Market Square. They're like a med spa and they are gonna hand out sunflower seeds. So a few different things that kind of tie into, Hound and Home's gonna do, and Muddy Paws Barkery is gonna do dog treat samples and a discount for the store. I'm gonna have some people set up in Karma's Closet parking lot. We're very excited. The planning's going well. We have promoted it in the Rare Reminder. And the $1,000 that this committee was able to give went towards, we hired 2 face painters, which were about $550, believe it or not. Yeah, but they do a great job. It's not like when I was a kid and you just get like a smiley face on like your cheek. They make you a whole thing.
Make a person look like a tiger. Or
It's like a whole
put
thing.
like a whole thing
Yeah.
on the face.
Yep. We ordered some. Excuse me, thank you. 'Tis the season, I think.
Starting.
It's starting, you know it. We ordered some, one of the hair salons is ordering hair tinsel to like braid into the girls' hair and stuff. So trying to do a lot of things for the kids, get people out, and try to make as many things as free as possible. Especially the little activities for the kids. What else did I want to tell you guys about? Oh, we got the banner up on CVS board, that town board. So it's gonna be up there for 2 weeks. So Image Inc. did that for us and gave us a few lawn signs, so that about 200 went there, and then the other like 250 went to the like kids craft that we were helping donate for Mrs. Gomes to do with the kids, because we knew that would be a big expense. And yeah, so I think I gave you guys some flyers. You're gonna see them around, see them on social media. Please like and share. About a lot, we've had about 15 business owners at each meeting, which has been really, really nice to get to know each other. And we're trying to go to different businesses. So the next meeting is gonna be at Laurel Aesthetics, so that we can get to know all the other businesses around too. So we're excited.
It is cool. Yes, sir.
Quick question. Is there a website that has like a list of all the businesses that are going to be setting up shop there?
So there's
Or-
not a website, but there's social media. So
Gotcha.
the Facebook page and the Instagram are where we're at right now.
Okay.
And then once we get, like, we didn't even start getting dues from people yet. So
Mhm.
once we can set the nonprofit in place, then we want to start getting small amounts of dues, like literally $25 for businesses to start joining, and we can do little things like that, like get a
Gotcha.
website up and things like that.
Okay.
So right now it's kind of just on Instagram and Facebook to help share that way.
Sounds
Is
good.
it, D, is it under Newington Center Business Collective on Facebook?
It is, so if you type it in that way, and then I think it comes up like Newington Center. Yep, but you'll see this logo, that logo down in the right there. Yeah, so far so good.
I think you're off to a running start. It's
Thank you to
fabulous.
everybody, and we're excited, and we have a few other ideas that are brewing for hopefully like once a quarter, we can, get something going. So hopefully I'll be able to share more soon. Perfect, you guys. All right, any old business? So the fundraising and budget discussion.
So just to kind of dovetail on that, I know you had some communication with Laura about what she needed. I know Tiffany did, so I think she got that squared away.
Yes,
To issue that, and then whatever you need to do for the face painting, I think that was discussed.
yep, Lauren's been very helpful with
Yep.
all of that, so it's going very
As
smooth.
long as you walk that, you guys should be good there.
We are, yes, thank you so much. Try to simplify it as much as
Yeah.
possible. So budget discussion, the town council is still going through. From what I've gotten, our budget is probably gonna stay the same as this past year, which was 3,500. So.
Was it that much or did we get knocked down?
From last year? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the same as last year, it was
Okay.
put in for an additional 1,000.
Yeah, we
When the
asked
budget
for
went in,
an additional
it was
Yeah.
put in for $1,000 increase request, but I believe it was then kept at the
Yeah.
same as last year.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
So hopefully we'll be able to do the same things that we've been doing as far as the passport and possibly helping support the Newington Center Business Collective in a different way, or if something comes up with the branding and going from there. If anything changes with the downtown master plan, we're able to help with that a little bit, so.
Is the air funding in the budget for implementation of a number of the initiatives in the town center plan? I noticed that there was capital improvement allotments of like 195,000. Is there a breakdown of what that's gonna fund?
Yep.
Do we know?
So I can start on that one. So that is the request. Again, it's again, working with the town manager. It's a town manager's request with the planning department, me and him working together. And it is starting the initial signage project, starting the initial traffic study. There's a couple items that the master plan that we need to get off going first and get going. And I think it's a lot of understanding what we need for our current businesses, especially with a lot of the infill projects that are there, setting the right stage for those infill projects that we know that we're gonna have carrying capacity, that everything's in place for them, that those decisions can be very easily made at the TPZ level when you have that behind you. In addition, it's starting the signage. A big part of the study when we went through and a lot of the public input was there really isn't a lot of connectivity when you come one place to another to kind of pull you through. If you live here, if you're visiting, you don't necessarily. People have our phones, we can see where we're going, but once you reach the destination of actually being in the center, because we want people to park in the center, stay their car and leave their car in that parking lot. It's how to lead them through properly and add those visual cues. So this is what that implementation money is moving forward in that direction.
Right.
Can you clarify infill?
So infill would be basically where you have, sometimes it's where there's nothing currently right now. The two infill sites primarily right now are on either side of the Roma Taylor's building, where you have one which is currently vacant, and you have the other which has two houses, which are a little in that area on that side, out of scale, kind of with the commercial development and a good opportunity. So those are what I would consider as infill sites.
All right, do we have any other questions or discussion for that? All right, moving right along. Any other new business?
I can speak to some marketing efforts on the state side. I went to the Connecticut Tourism Coalition.
Oh,
So that they had their, I think it's a monthly meeting or quarterly meeting. Various different state senators in Connecticut legislation, as well as Rachel Linda, what's his name? Rachel Linda and a few other things from this State Department who are managing state tourism. They spoke about their marketing budget this year, which is a total of 900,000. It's a very substantial budget, less than this year or last year, but substantial still. And then 50% of that is going to paid media towards targeting towards Connecticut tourism. So there's a lot of money on the table targeted towards Connecticut tourism, which kind of gives us another stepping stone towards having town branding, or at least having some sort of social media presence or any kind of tourism presence. Because you can collaborate with CT Visit on social media and in blogs and in various different ways, and they are putting thousands of dollars behind that to help promote Connecticut towns and businesses. So there are ways to tap into tourism in Connecticut without us having to have the full downloaded website and everything all ready to go. So there's efforts there. So that was really significant, and so another, notch in our belt there to take advantage of that. Senator Kathy Olston said she did some really good statistics. She wants 20 million in marketing efforts. She mentioned some bills, but she mentioned this is a really good statistic. For every dollar spent on tourism, you get $9 back. So there's a really good return on investment there.
Wow.
That was the main piece of note. There's various different things you can do with CT Visit that we can take advantage of as the town of Newington. But they have significant budget going forward, and they're doing various different Discover New England pieces as well. So there's a lot that I can try and do a report on and give more information to.
He had a question for you.
I just part of my own ignorance, just because I don't know that much about it, but like when you say like promoting Connecticut tourism, is it like, people out of state, like come see Mystic Aquarium, or like, come to one of our many local breweries? Is it that kind of tourism?
Yeah, it is. It is. CT Visit is the state-run like tourism board, and they have. It's a small crew right now. I think it's like 5 or 6 people, and they do various different towns. They do businesses, and you'll see articles about like, best hikes in Connecticut, and they help sort of establish that.
Does Newington have anything listed on their tourism? Or
I can check.
But the reason we're discussing that is we're using it to figure out how to better promote Newington. Is that why? Okay.
yeah.
Let's see.
So I know that some people don't think of Newington as
A destination, yeah.
Right, so Connecticut, right, you got the casinos do a lot of advertising for us and different things, but actually, I've had a decent amount of people come from out of state, and they are groups of ladies that are vintage or antique or just consignment or thrift shopping, and they're hopping. And they'll stay on the Berlin Turnpike, and they'll go to
Savers.
10, 20 shops
Okay.
in the local, like Glastonbury,
Really?
and I'm just a small thing. I'm just giving like an example of like, why would someone come
To Connecticut.
to this part of Connecticut, right? Like, we're not the beach, we're not the casino.
Yeah.
So what can we offer? And there's a lot that we
I
can
mean,
offer.
we're a great central part of Connecticut. Like we're right in the middle of the state, more or less, and we're also pretty close to Hartford as well.
Mhm.
So we have that ability to be able to try to like take
Mhm.
advantage of that.
For people and I'm talking to people from like Jersey, like northern Jersey, or southern New York even, and like maybe like Maine or New Hampshire is just like a little
Yeah,
too far to go
there's a-
antiquing or hang out in a cute little quaint town. And because of Hallmark movies that was
Yeah.
filmed in
Oh,
Weathersfield,
Weathersfield, yeah.
these ladies know exactly where to come. And not just Weathersfield, I think a good amount of Hallmark movies have been filmed in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes, they
something
have.
that can be played off of very well. Yeah.
Yep, so I just looked actually at the website too. The one thing is there are events, as in saying like what's going on this month. I did a search for Newington. We would actually be good to get this to them.
Very cool.
Because I'm looking at different
Yeah.
things that are
So
on
does
there.
anything come up?
So
Yeah.
it
Oh,
could come
cool.
up on it as well. So if this is a resource that's out there and they're funding it, it's a good, just another opportunity for us to amplify and
Oh,
use someone
wow.
else's space.
Yeah, I may have their tourism sort of presentation deck I can bring to the next meeting so that people are more informed on how to interact with that resource.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Hunter,
That
have
would be
you,
really cool.
have you spoken like directly kind of the people working there or the 5 people as you know that?
Yeah, we've worked with Rachel Linda on various different things. My company works with her on, they recently started a influencer program that we're working on with them with. And we've had various different projects and things like that that we work
So
with.
say through the chair, if you can use a little bit of their resources and get this out there too, that would be a really good idea.
Yeah.
Or any of your other future events. as
Future
well.
events, but we
Yeah.
got this one right now, and as I said, looking at what's going on in April, and it's an opportunity to get on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know if I said this last month, but your review that you did last month of the branding, when you did the, you positioned the old Saybrook and it was the, it was a play on words, would
Yep.
say this and say, first of all, I thought that was really, it was great. And then I thought, Newington, new, play on the word new,
Yep.
new, whatever. Okay, but I appreciate that, if I didn't say this last time, you did a nice job with
Thank
that.
you.
And, as we're continuing to go down the branding type ideas, I just thought that something like that makes a lot of sense.
I think we had talked about it early on that there was some kind of new in Newington at some point, and then I don't know what happened to it, but it's an option for us on the table.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, this is a resource. Oh, my pen exploded. This is a resource for us. They don't promote things unless it is within their system. I can talk to, if, I don't know if anybody has, you're supposed to be able to like update your own pages. So I don't know if anyone on the town side of things has any access to that, but we can try and move that forward.
And yeah, I mean, if you can find out who we need to contact, at least get in there and then we can see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. Because then, it allows you to make updates, like the town planning and things like that allows you to make updates like that for your.
It's like a
pages.
free tourism website for us.
Correct.
Look at you.
That's great.
Very cool.
I have a question, Chairman, if you allow, somewhat related. I'm just curious if there's been any recent history with the commission meeting with the State Department of Economic Development to talk about Newington specifically. Do you know if we've had any contact with them?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so can we have a discussion, whether it's tonight or some other time, about putting someone in charge of reaching out to them, establishing a relationship and going to Hartford and having a conversation about what's happening with the State
Yeah.
Department of Economic Development and how Newington can be involved,
Yeah.
whether there's grant monies available or whatever wherever the conversation goes, but I think we need to make a
Yeah.
connection.
Never thought
Would,
about
would
that.
that be a Matt Plord and or Gary Turco and or someone else question push?
Well, I think we can
All of,
make
all
it
of the above?
happen
Yeah.
as long as the commission agrees it's a good idea to
Okay.
pursue something like that.
Okay.
Do you want to do the homework for that?
I could absolutely do the homework for that. Yeah.
Okay, at least
Okay.
find out who the contact
Yep.
people are. That
I
would be
can,
cool.
I can talk to Matt Plord and Gary Turco about it as well. So, yeah.
That's a good idea. I
definitely.
never even thought of that.
Mhm.
And Chair, if I may, question in regards to any state funding requests that are before the legislature. We heard some marketing funding, but are you aware of any state marketing or, I'm sorry, state funding requests for any Newington projects? Could be capital projects, any other funding that's being requested through our representatives.
So I would say we had the state of the town, was that last week? Or 2 weeks ago? Was it a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Okay, and I feel like they went over a few things there. I can't think off the top of my head, but I can, if it sounds like both those things, I can reach out to Gary Turco about. And see if he can give us any kind of an update, if that's something that we're interested in, absolutely.
Well,
Do you guys have anything?
From the commission standpoint, I think we'd be in a position to support, funding requests, particularly that align with the town center plan or the plan of conservation and development, likely there are projects that would benefit economic development. It could be things just like improving the storm drainage system. You know, not a very sexy item, but important for development, important for developers. So I don't know if there's a list of projects that have been identified, particularly in the town center, that we could use some funding, be it through bond funding, DECD funding, other state projects.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that being in our purview, but if we're gonna do all these redevelopments and that's gonna impact all of that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I
Okay.
see, I think we should adopt the attitude, it's in our purview until someone tells us it's not.
Okay, all right.
Easier to ask for
Ambitious.
forgiveness than permission.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Okay.
That's I was reading through the plan of conservation and development, and there's a pretty, long list of projects that have been assigned to the Economic Development Commission. So I was just curious if, we've been monitoring them. Is that something that we should be reviewing at every meeting as far as progress?
Where did this initiate? Where's it?
In the
He's like
in the
that.
plan of conservation and development,
Okay,
there's a lot of sections
Town
in
does it
there,
every 10 years.
and they assigned the Economic Development Commission to be the owner, right? And I was just curious if we've broken down those items into tasks, next steps, funding needed, because that's something I would love to review every.
Are those
year.
things
you own it.
I'll own it.
No,
I'm
are those
bringing it
things
up,
that
I'll
we're
own it.
supposed to be
Yeah,
getting
so-
reported on?
And I can, then for the record, Paul Dixon, town planner, for those listening along at home. This is actually something that, when we had the open space committee, we just recently discussed this as well. Cause we're in the 2020 to 2030 cycle right now. We're pretty much a little over halfway through. We've had some turnover with the staff through that period, 2020 till now. But I think that is a good opportunity for the commission to look through and say, okay, what is here? What isn't done? What are the top priorities? Because we know the POCD has a lot of priorities. It has a lot of different options.
Mhm.
What are the top priorities? What are you facing right now that you feel is the most important thing to tackle? And then start breaking that down.
Mhm.
So yep, if that's something, through the chair, if Deanna is interested in doing that, then yeah, I'd say bring that forward, kind of look through. And it's actually a really good idea to start looking at it now, because it's gonna come around very soon. It doesn't seem like a long way, 2028, 2029 seems like it's forever from now, but that will come around a lot faster than you think. And having this committee prepared to get when the POCD update comes out, because a lot of the time that happens, a POCD update comes out, you go through the kind of normal things, a hearing here, a thing of that, of 1 or 2 outreach sessions, and there isn't a body of work ready to go right into it. So I think since you're bringing that up, this is a great opportunity to start doing that, building that body of work together. So when this is ready to go, number one, you've addressed what's there, what hasn't been done, what are the must do's, would like to do's, and then put that forward for the next POCD. So when that hits, you're ready to go.
With the commission's permission, I'll take this on to create that from this. And with the commission's permission, I'd love to work with town staff on this and probably meet offline to do something. Great,
That'd be great. Thank you so much. Really
wonderful.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's very interesting. Everybody comes to the table with their own perspective, their own priorities. So it's kind of neat. Okay.
All right.
Are we still on new business?
I think we are. Yes.
So, I wanted, this is a twofold, it's a question and maybe some background, but I thought it probably would come under new business. Do we have it's a 2 parts. Let me say the first part is, do we have a list of real estate openings in town? And then secondly, if we can talk through the role of this commission, our town manager, our Paul and Eric, in attracting businesses to Newington. I'd like to get a little bit more detail on that. It's been a number of years since I've been like part of this. And so if we can, do we have a list of real estate openings in town, number one? And then can we talk openly in this forum about what is the role of all of us, of our commission, but also, Jonathan, Paul, and Eric in bringing new business to Newington?
So,
And that, I don't have an answer for that. I'm
Yeah.
opening it up to the.
so as far as real estate listings go, I don't monitor it, occasionally I'll look on LoopNet for, business stuff. Residential listings are, Kathy has a good handle on that. There's probably, I understand there's typically less than a dozen at any given time right now.
Not residential.
No, I'm not saying,
Yeah.
but it's nothing that we monitor
Okay,
because, again, that was probably something that
okay.
an economic development director type of person did.
Full-time paid position, yes.
I'd say from staff, our normal interactions would be, and actually this happens a lot. Even before, when something goes on the market, even before it goes on the market, whoever's the first agent that gets it in their hand, or literally when there's 3 different agents because they're being interviewed by the property owner of who's going to take the property, they all reach out to us and they say, what could I do? So then we sit and we spend the time with them on the phone, kind of going through the regs, going through the conditions, sending them maps of the property. So really those agents who are, the most gung ho and calling to us and do all that research, hopefully they get it because they're the ones who did all the work, but you never know. But that's really like our first point of contact is a lot of the time it's when they hire an agent, the agents are coming to us. Most of them know to do that.
Yep.
And then, yes, it's because there are a lot of the things that come up in Newington. There's always little intricacies. Especially if you're on the Berlin Turnpike, especially if you're a legacy property who has parking out in the right of way and a lot of different things have changed over time. So it's a lot of talking through the process with them, making them completely familiar with, okay, if you get this type of tenant, here's your process. If you get this type of tenant, here's your process. So that's kind of our role. And we do that frequently. Whenever a property comes on the market, we're getting calls. So we'll run through how and what anyone could do. So when they, the agent has it, owner has it, as someone comes to the table, they have the information. Okay, here's what you're going to need to bring to the town. Here's the type of application you'll need to do. So we try to prepare them in that way. So that's kind of our role in the current form of things.
And sometimes it's very on the down low. They don't want anything leaked at a given time. So, we abide by their wishes. We're not leaking things or any concept plans.
Are we doing any type of outreach though to other businesses that are outside of Newington, looking to bring them in, bringing, tax dollars, commercial tax dollars into here? And I ask that for a reason. It's been a number of years, 6 or 7 years ago, but I had a discussion with Keith Chapman about when Bonefish Grill was opened up, and actually got in touch with, Rich Rosenthal, who owns all of the Max chains of restaurants, had a conversation about that, about this was opening, you got a Max in west of the river, east of the river, in Hartford, up in Springfield, nothing south. And it was a good discussion, but then I took that to Keith and, obviously Rich Rosenthal wasn't looking to do any more development here, but I thought that, how are we doing that today? How are we having, or are we having any type of outreach to other, and I'm saying it's not just on Jonathan or the 2 of you, but maybe all of us, are part of that. I'm just trying to get a sense of that, where that stands today over the last 5 years of the EDC. Do we know that? Or how should we go about
So
that?
typically, I was doing this under Keith when Keith came on board. He specifically wanted me to dedicate some time to that. I don't have time to do that now because I'm spread so thin. I mean, I know I called every mid-market grocery chain in the world for best market. We talked to one that was actually interested in coming in, and and the owners of the plaza would not get back to them.
Mm,
So that was a situation at that point, but otherwise, no.
So if we hear of something though, in terms of we come up with an idea of a business, and I know that Jim just had a discussion with another like butcher.
Mhm.
Okay, and I mean, and then.
He called me about that.
Yeah, okay. Is that the process? Like if we have a concept or a thought on, hey, this may make sense for Newington, do we come to you guys with that?
I mean, if you touch base with people, you can certainly have them contact us, so they can hear right from us. Here are the, whatever they want, they're thinking about doing, what their great plan is versus what maybe the piece of property they're looking at, or how does it fit?
Yeah.
We'll talk to anybody and we'll give them all the information and they can make their decisions based on that going forward.
I mean, especially with what you're doing downtown, with the new plan going downtown. I mean, I think like now's the time to start having some of those type of, introductions and discussions with others. I didn't know what the outreach was, so I appreciate that. Thanks.
I feel like the gap in between is that it's not, so we don't have an economic development director, right?
Mhm.
So we don't have someone going out and doing those things. So we have that gap.
you have a
And then-
volunteer board.
And then
yeah.
any business that's gonna come into town, as much as you guys know, like the building I got, it's not like it was on a list for rent.
Word of
There's
mouth.
there's no list. They have to get a realtor. The realtor has to do the best that they can.
Mhm.
And it's not up to the town. The town can't say whether Stop and Shop can open up and where Best Market was. It's
No, I guess that. I was just trying to
Like-
understand what the outreach was to attract business into town.
right.
So I think what we run into is that we are a small volunteer board, and to harness what can we accomplish meeting once a month and having a small volunteer board? What you're talking about is definitely something that probably is part of our realm, but then how do we do that without somebody holding the lead to that, a paid economic development?
Correct. It's
person.
not for this board to do. I would think if there was someone that worked for the town and that was their position, we would be supportive of their efforts.
But I think they are always receptive to everything that we've brought about, hey, can we get this, like you, I've spoken to a couple grocery stores that wanted to maybe come in, but the guy in New York isn't very cooperative, so. But yes.
We could have the first Wegmans. Let's just keep saying it here.
We need a big space for it.
There you go.
Pick that up, Newington Scoop.
There was
We
just-
do have a big space for it. We just need more parking for it.
Yeah.
There was something that was announced yesterday about a new business coming to Newington, going into Joanne Fabric.
Yeah.
Oh.
Are we allowed to say that?
No, it's fine. I've actually been working for them probably when Joanne's closed.
Oh, wow.
I got a call fairly quickly.
I saw it, but I forget who it is.
It's Ross.
Oh, that's right. Women's
I-
clothing or something?
Yeah, Ross. Yeah.
I've never.
Is there,
been there.
is that's their first one in Connecticut, right?
No, I think it's like their third. They're
Oh,
starting to
okay.
move in, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Oh
called
my
Ross.
gosh.
Yeah,
They
I've
took
known
me there
about
when we were
Ross
in
for
Texas.
years.
It's like
Yeah,
a,
they're
it's
big-
like
they're
a
big in the
Marshalls,
South,
but
yes, they're-
even.
Kind of
They're
in between.
they're direct competitor with Marshalls.
Oh my
Gotcha.
gosh.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I
Yeah, I
thought.
just heard
Marshalls,
that.
TJ
That could
Maxx,
do well
that
there.
they
I
were
just
gonna-
heard Ross was coming in.
Oh,
yeah.
that'll be a big deal.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, I'm excited.
So idea, they just applied for their sign permits.
Oh,
So we'll be
cool.
doing a
That's
tenant
good
fit out.
news.
But
Okay.
again, I did get a call pretty early on from them and sometimes it's just, that's been what, a year and a half, 2 years now. So
Takes a while
this-
sometimes.
This is right.
Right.
This
like,
is how long.
Just because
That's
we
why we
want them
don't
to
need to
move in
worry about the
tomorrow, but
turnpike.
they have to.
The
they have
turnpike
to-
will be fine,
It's questions back and forth and hey, we want to, and then.
but the
and then
center, we need to help. the
A
center.
large company like that they got other
Stuff going
They have other
on.
things
all over
going
the
on,
country.
yeah.
So, they may.
Maybe
We're gonna
they'll
have to
get
roll
that
it.
parking lot fixed.
Yeah, the large companies have a large analytics
Right.
capability behind them. And that's what you'll find even when we had an application at the TPZ that talked about parking and working on the one Taco John's and right sizing parking for what a new type of, what did I say? What, a furniture store has evolved into. It's more of a showroom. It's less than that. The analytics, that were behind that they're all easily capable for most, actually, these businesses, even medium-sized businesses are now able to use this to kind of find that right spot. So there's a lot of power out there in everyone's hands, which is interesting.
So, we field a lot of calls throughout the year. Sometimes we don't hear back for 3 months, 6 months. Sometimes we never do.
Mhm.
And then sometimes we just get an application dropped at the counter and they're ready to go. So.
Yep.
Right, because they're dealing with the realtors in the background and.
Yep. First and foremost, be responsive and friendly.
That's it.
There you go.
Not all of them are as good as I am. That's all I have to say.
All right, any other?
Chair, yeah, I do agree with the commissioner that, what is our role in helping to promote real estate? This commission should know what are the top 2, 3 development, redevelopment opportunities here in Newington. Does anyone have?
You mean like
New
priority
buildings?
ones?
Yeah, priority wise.
Cedar Mountain, like, isn't that one that they're trying?
In
to
our, like, in our opinion,
What would
Personally?
move the needle for Newington in any type of a development, redevelopment project?
That's a good question.
our
Real
whole master
housing.
plan, our master plan.
The center, once that
Yeah,
plan starts moving
Hartford
forward, that
Healthcare
will be the.
Campus and then Keeney Building.
Yeah.
It's literally 60% of our downtown.
At least.
So from my perspective, the Genova Drive and that parcel, I'm pretty sure it's primarily tax exempt because of the not-for-profit use by Hartford Hospital. If that were to flip to a commercial use, it becomes taxable.
That's the
And-
goal of the master plan.
Right. So that Cedar Crest Hospital, another, property, and I think the state offered it to the town for, for sale. I don't know the status of it, but that's another large property that could potentially be redeveloped, that was non-taxable, that could become taxable.
Yeah,
And
is that state property?
Cedar Crest State Hospital. Old State
So
Hospital.
I'd love to be working off a priority list of projects. And for myself, how could we be supportive in the redevelopment of the Hartford Hospital property? I don't know if there's
It's
any,
private property.
but from the
So-
Economic Development Commission, is there contamination on the site? Do
The
we know?
hospital is responsible for cleaning that up. That was my understanding
Okay.
before it's
So,
put up for sale.
So
Depends
things
on
like
how-
this,
The level.
this, like, as small as this
Yeah.
is little things that this committee can actually do to help support, to make the center what we have now as great as it can be, so that the Keeney Building people look and go, look what we need to be a part of this, or we need to help, like, we're sitting on this and it could be so much more. And the Hartford Healthcare Campus, we just have to put that kind of pressure on them.
So
That's how I see it.
I'll give you one example. I belong to the Home Builders and Remodelers Association. I have spoken to several builders that this is coming to market, but we have no control over who actually purchases it because it doesn't belong to us. So I've spoken to 3 or 4 different builders and said, listen, based on what has been asked for in this study, what we want, what Newington needs, senior housing, less expensive housing, not more apartments, but things people can own. So for my little piece, I have put it out there in the hopes that somebody's gonna say, okay, that sounds great, we wanna do that. But until it's purchased, we don't know who's gonna purchase it.
Right.
We have no control at that point? Yes.
So the control there is eventually the rezoning process because it's own public land. So for anyone to pretty much make, as far as any outliers, again, public land is an interesting use. It's a very small area of the regulations. But for a larger use that would have more of a return, it would need to be rezoned. So that's where the process comes in with the town. But ultimately, Hartford Hospital is going to choose who they partner with, to either develop themselves or to straight outright sell it. Cause and they probably, that's a very strategic decision for them. Cause it's like whether just let it go, or are they going to try to partner and figure out what they want to do with the land? Cause of course they have an existing building there that, as far as we know, they plan to keep that one building that is currently occupied as part of it. So whatever gets built around them is going to be their neighbor. So they have some vested interest to make sure that that is still done. So at least it kind of respects what they have there and it works with it. So, they will be talking with people, they will come forward with something, but who's gonna be their partner at the end of the day is gonna what makes financial sense for them and probably what even makes public relations sense for them at the end. But that's something that they do have to, come to us with, but zoning will be the big part of when it gets to the TPZ. But that's why the plan is there. So at least they have a blueprint that they can really point to and say, okay, this is the study, this is this is what we're bringing to the table.
My understanding of the purview of this commission is to help support those zoning changes and perhaps raise those questions and support what zoning would be attractive to a potential developer to develop it the way that the town wants it developed. So, okay.
If it comes up at TPZ, we can all go and tell them that we're
Yep.
for it.
So in regard, like we mentioned Hartford Healthcare, their building, there was a mention about Keeney. And there's been some back and forth on both. Are they both now off the market, or is one on the market, one off the market, or are both on the market?
I don't know. I don't believe actually either of them are officially on the market. I believe Keeney is not. Keeney, the owners do want to do something with that property. They've kind of expressed that the whole kind of way through. They came with, the concept, presented the concept. That kind of didn't, the market didn't support it. They wanted to do the kind of the mixed use, health and wellness. Didn't come to fruition. So we'll see what their next iteration for the property is. But again, they are the holders of that property. Again, same thing with Hartford Healthcare. As far as we know, we haven't seen it, officially listed. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen, something put up. Even when it was briefly put on before, it was one of those, not a number. Yeah, just come talk to us type of thing. Like, we're interested. It's the same thing with Cedar Crest, at the top of the hill, where you do have one parcel, which I believe there is a contractor purchaser on a small piece of it, but not the bulk of it.
Right.
And they've offered it multiple. There were 2 rights of first refusal to the town. For 10 acres, they wanted $1 million. For the cottages with a unknown, no one knows the level of contamination on that property. Anyone who buys it will be buying it with that liability.
Yeah.
It's a big risk,
Yes.
but a developer can take that risk at a higher level. If they go bust, they go bust. That's kind of their risk to take. But the state still, they put RFPs out for potential for the projects up there, but we really haven't seen much. That's a state process that's happening outside of the town. But we do have the conservation easement, which, we're working to get it finalized and filed. But everywhere that pretty much you would see around the Cedar Crest Hospital that isn't developed, on the hill, on the backside, everything that's trees is pretty much locked up within that conservation easement.
All right.
Some very serious questions tonight.
Town planning update that we kind of.
We kind of
Right.
started into our.
Yeah.
Ross was pretty much it. There's other things probably in the wind. Have been getting a few calls about the radio station site on Willard Avenue,
Oh,
but
good.
otherwise, nothing.
Yep, and the regulation amendments are gonna start to be heating up on the agenda for the transit middle housing development and the mixed use development as of right in all zones allowing commercial uses. So if any lot zoned for commercial use, it can have a 2 to 9 unit whether that's a duplex, a condo, a perfect six, a cottage court, all things that were
Townhouse.
specifically listed. Yep, townhouse. Which is, townhouse condo, kind of almost ubiquitous, but not quite. So that is ideally, we'll have some type of draft at the next TPZ. And then we'll be going through about 3 different meetings of going through tweaking it 2 to 3 and getting something on the books, because July 1st is when it actually goes into effect.
So this is transit oriented or?
So
It's not.
it has it in name, but it has nothing to do with transit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's transit middle
I'm gonna
housing
just-
It's
development.
basically middle housing.
It's middle housing. It's just 2 to 9 units, and that's the key.
Okay.
There are other provisions, of course, where parking, we can no longer require parking for anything under 16 units. And it can't be the sole reason why it's denied. Above 16 units, we can require a current one for studio and 1 bedroom, 2 for 2 bedroom plus. We're looking at parking management, parking conservation management districts.
Mitigation, yeah.
Mitigation districts. We're allowed to have 2 of those in town. You can only have 2. They can be contiguous, but they can't be more than 4 acres. There's so many little intricacies to this. But so this is something that we're working on. Hopefully, we'll be going through this process. And then later, the housing growth plan will be the one that will go on after this. But for the TPZ right now, between now and the end of June, we're going to be pretty busy working on this.
And this is all by state statute. We have to come in
Yes.
compliance with the state statutes for the middle housing.
Yep. Special session, Public Act 25-1.
5-1.
This is the part of the meeting, I forget if we've gone over this, that we just ask them questions about what's going on around town. So if you have any questions, like when is Taco John's opening?
Important stuff.
Construction schedules, I don't know, they had a rough winter.
Yep.
So.
They did it,
No
yeah,
kidding.
we all did.
The snow's all gone now. Yeah, the snow is off the ground, absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and Culver Street is starting back up again. They actually took a little bit of the winter off
Yeah.
on the construction of those
It was a rough
apartments.
winter.
Because
builders.
again, that was a lot of snow on a big site, so
Yeah.
they smartly did not disturb the ground much during that, so they didn't have blowouts, so they didn't have issues. So they are back working on site. Second building being framed, so actually building 2 is being built first. That's pretty much all framed and being sided. And I actually saw pretty much kind of kitchens going in, countertops. Building 1, which is the second building, which is the closest to Lowe's, on the front corner of it, that is now going into framing.
Yes, yeah.
Yep, the clubhouse foundation is poured. That'll be going into framing soon. Building 3, the foundation is finishing being poured, and then that will move into it. So it's starting to progress. So we should see more activity over there.
And there's been a lot of activity there.
All of a sudden, yeah.
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 The only entrance that they have is on Culver, correct? There's no Deming entrance.
Correct.
Yes.
And how many units are there?
200 and, that one's,
The 260 or the 220?
260 is over at Meadow Commons, I think it's the 220.
Yeah.
220 to 250, I can't remember.
There's a lot of.
We happen to know, this came up in discussion amongst friends, that we were talking about the 6 or 7 different apartment complexes that are going up in town over the last year and a half. The ones that are opened, Milliard, the Pike, Cedar Point, I think it is over here. Do we have any understanding of their occupancy rates as of now?
So I don't have much, as far as Cedar Point, I've talked to them and they're pretty much occupied. The only thing they had left over was maybe a 3-bedroom. It was kind of and that's the fully affordable right now.
Yeah.
And 3 bedrooms on affordability, it's pretty much a Goldilocks type of tenant. Because it's very hard to find the person who needs the 3-bedroom, but makes the exact right amount to slot into the formula.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, being formula based,
Yeah.
but that's pretty much occupied.
Right.
And again, they do have a 3rd building that we anticipate that they will be building on site and moving forward with.
Which one of these?
That's 550 Cedar Street, Cedar Point. As far as the Milliard, the last we checked, they've been hovering around that 85 to 90%.
That's significant.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was.
Yeah, so I think earlier on, yeah, I think they're about the 85%. So they've been doing really well. The Pike, we have not seen the exact numbers on that one.
We checked very early on, like 2 months after they had opened, and I think they had 15 leases, but that was very early on, like right after they opened.
Yeah, and sometimes you can just do this by, depending on their leasing software, you can literally just go in and count the amount of units they have open.
Or drive in the parking lot at night or something.
Maybe that'll have to be a video, what's going on in town.
There you go. Any other questions for the guys? All right, we're back to public participation.
No one online.
Public. Commissioner comments. Any additional comments?
I just have one.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of how responsive Eric and Paul are.
Mhm.
The fact that Eric probably has a cot somewhere in this building that he sleeps in because he's here every time I come.
Easier.
I feel like I'm always asking for stuff from you guys, and the fact that you drop what you're doing and answer questions.
Mhm.
I guess that's part of your role, but you can't possibly function like that with 75 agents, realtors living in Newington and coming to you and asking about stuff. But you guys are always so gracious, and I just need to acknowledge it publicly so that everybody realizes this is not, this is off hours. This is
Mhm.
after work, through dinner. And we appreciate it very much. So thank you for always being so helpful.
I second that.
I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
second that. Any other commissioner, anyone want to follow that? Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Bye.
All right. Great one.